that brings us to Azkaban, and then you have the
Azkaban. I
night
think.
bus.
Oh, dude,
And
Night Bus. They did such a good job with it in
yeah,
general.
right.
Like,
He makes his, Harry makes his aunt float away. Like
also the director in the third movie changed, right?
okay,
And yeah. So the first two movies had Chris Columbus as the director.
okay.
The third movie had someone else. Wait, who did they have? I can't remember. Uh, I just, but anyway, like he was an art film director. Like that's what I remember of him.
Okay.
And he basically gave his own like twist to the or rather his own spin to the way directing Harry Potter goes, and I think he did such a good job with making that movie because that movie had such an interesting tone, like the way it was directed and the way it was showcased, because like the whole way that like they shot each scene, especially when they introduced the Dementors, and the way they
Oh
introduced the
God,
Dementors
that is
was
freaky, scary.
one of the, I think that genuinely gave me a proper scare. Like
Yeah,
I
right.
remember being hella scared watching
Dude, I would
watching that
even like
movie.
wager that Dementors are probably as scary, or if not, probably more scary than Voldemort, man. Like the way they're like, I don't know. It's just like the they brought Lord of the Rings to Harry Potter. Like, what is Sauron doing over here? Like, what is happening with the whispering and the Frodo? Like, no, this is Harry Potter. Why? And then the whole Dementor's kiss and the whole like, like it's creepy. Like the actual structure of like losing your mind
Yeah.
with the whole
But
like,
did you know this? Like, the Dementors actually were made to represent depression.
yeah, I actually
According to
just
JK,
yeah,
like that's what depression feels like, because the way they are kind of I don't know, described as well,
yeah.
is all about like they suck away all
Take
the
all your
happiness,
happiness
and it's
away.
just
Yeah,
very cold, right?
yeah.
And yeah, I think that's they were a really really interesting take on, I don't know, just prison guards in a way, but like a very different kind of prison guard that was
Yeah,
the
no
most
one ever
scariest
messed
thing
with them.
ever.
Yeah, and I mean,
And
just the fact that Sirius manages to fight them off and
yeah.
not lose his moxie to them is just brilliant. And like
Also,
the
this was the
entire
movie we got introduced to Sirius Black, bro. My favorite character.
yeah, like,
Sirius Black, bro. Padfoot. He
that,
is he is
the
the man.
Marauders,
Actually,
man.
also we
Wait,
get
I
to
just
we got to know two of the Marauders, man. It's not
yeah,
just
we
Sirius.
got it
Like
on Lupin,
we get to know Lupin. We get to know Mooney. We get to
Moody,
know Wormtail, and we get to know
that
Padfoot.
fucker. Yeah,
Wormtail is an asshole, yes.
he's a
Who
big asshole.
basically Peter Pettigrew
What
for
if you're
the.
listening to this, you suck. Also, you did a good job of acting because we really hated you.
Oh, dude, yeah, seriously. Like the whole. Also, yeah, as you said, Marauders map. We solemnly swear that we're up to no
Up to
good.
no.
My
Wait,
God.
we were going to begin the episode by saying we solemnly swear we're up to no good, and we completely forgot.
We
That
should
means we
end this
are
episode.
solemn.
We should end this episode by saying
Yeah.
mischief
You know
management.
what? I think we'll talk about the third book, and then we'll actually do a second episode because we love
Yeah.
Harry Potter so much, and we'll talk about.
Also, I think we've already spoken like almost an hour
Whoa, whoa,
about Harry
whoa!
Potter. And we've just reached the third book,
Damn. If
so
you're Potterheads,
so
you
we
know there's going to be a second episode, and
yeah, it's definitely it's going to happen this coming Saturday
it will,
itself.
it
So
will,
yeah,
it will.
like but anyway, let's talk about the third book in general.
Yeah,
Um, I think the movie did a really good job of adapting the third book, because I don't think they missed out on much other than like
yeah.
the House Cup.
And like you were
Uh,
saying, like
Sorry,
the
the
fat
Quidditch Cup. Yeah.
lady really seems to have a personality in the fat lady as I don't mean that in a weird way, but like the fat lady in the portrait outside the Gryffindor common
Yeah.
room, she like really gets a little bit more character third book onwards, and then she gets attacked by Sirius and she's like freaked out. And I remember the movie,
Yeah.
they're all sleeping in the Great Hall, and the way they show the hall doors locking is insane.
Oh my
Like that,
God.
you
Yeah,
remember the
dude.
whole sequence, the cogs and wheels, and it's like a proper 20-25 second scene of the doors, how they lock themselves, and it's insane, man. And then
I swear, dude.
the
I
demon
swear,
terrors
like.
start guarding stuff outside, and it's like the Harry Potter world becomes real dark and gloomy, I think, for the first time.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Dude, I think the whole movie, it genuinely, the whole third movie did such a oh yeah, I know the director. His name was Alfonso Cuarón. That's
Okay.
what his name was. Alfonso Cuarón.
Man.
And he's the guy who he usually, and before this he usually did like small budget films, art
Uh,
films, all those kind of stuff. And nobody expected him to take a big budget Harry Potter film, because Harry Potter did have a very 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 big budget at for the time as well. And his shots in general, if you remember, like when they were doing the ridiculous scene when Lupin is teaching the kids ridiculous, the way they are introduced, like they are shown that they are forming a line, is
yeah.
the camera goes into the mirror of the closet, and then suddenly you're back to looking at the kids without, like, you're going through the mirror and then looking at the line of kids, if you remember that scene properly.
Yes,
And
that was a great shot for sure.
like really cool shot. And he also did a lot of I think continuous shots. Like he did like no cut shots, a lot of them, like just one continuous take without having any cuts in between,
I'm
from
just
what I
sold on the
remember.
fact that he decided to show Snape in a grandmother's outfit with a purse and everything. Yeah, with Neville's
Oh, dude, Neville
goggle.
though. I wish they would have showed a lot more about Neville's
Yeah.
relationship with his parents, man.
Oh yeah.
Um,
It's in the
he
third
has
book, right? That Harry visits the hospital and that he finds
Saint
Neville.
Mungo's.
Yeah.
Was it the third book?
Yes,
I think it was this. It might have
maybe
been the
the
third book.
yeah. Why is Harry in
But
the hospital? What is he doing there?
no, I mean, wait, was it? That's what I'm saying. Was
I
it the
can't
third book?
remember. But well, I do remember that he meets Neville's grandmom, and then they talk
So,
about how,
also we get introduced to the time turner in this.
oh my God, Hermione, that minx is just
Yeah.
laying her magic all over the place and fucking messing with time and going back to, you know what,
She had
learn
just
more
way too
stuff.
many classes. She had too many classes, and she did it because she wanted to learn more. Not even.
Like
I
just
mean, she was given the time turner by the school, right? Like
yeah, right.
Hogwarts
That's
gave her the time turner.
extraordinary. That
So
means she must have
yeah.
been way too badass in terms of the whole academia.
She wanted to take all the courses, and she did not want to compromise on it, and yeah,
Yeah, I
she
remember Harry and Ron like sometimes getting spooked out. Like, wait, Hermione, weren't you?
yeah.
Wasn't she here?
Every time, like, was she here? Was she always here? Like, what happened? How did this happen?
And that's when we're also introduced to this Sybil Trelawney. I don't know how do you say that?
Sybil Trelawney, yeah,
Sybil
Trelawney.
Trelawney.
She has a very interesting scene when she gets possessed and talks about like how there's a black
Yeah,
like
the whole
cloud over
prophecy.
Harry,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And she's actually right? Because at that day is when Harry follows, and they really go towards the
yeah.
Whomping Wallow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
Willow, you mean?
yeah, Whomping Willow. Sorry,
Yeah,
that's pretty badass. And then you have Crookshanks who figures out where's the knot, and then oh my God, the unveil, right? Like the whole book and the movie keeps building towards Sirius as some villain who murdered Harry's parents, and then when the unveil happens, oh my God.
oh, dude. Also, it's such a badass line where also in the books that was Ron that said the line. Just saying.
Yeah,
But in this, Hermione just comes in front of Harry, and to get to Harry, you have to go through us. And like we'll die before we let you get to Harry or do anything to Harry.
that
Is, I
is
think,
real friendship,
such a
yo.
badass moment.
So
Such a
badass,
badass
so badass. Damn, and I mean,
moment.
they're so close to like redeeming Sirius, man. So fucking close, but it's
Yeah,
the full moon that night. What are the odds? Like
that was the sad thing, man.
everything gets fucked up. But even the depiction of a werewolf is so well done. Like actually scares you.
And also the
Like
fact that these guys, was it in this movie we learned that they all became animagus because of Mooney, because of
yeah, yeah,
Lupin,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
I
Right.
think this was in the books. In the books, it was like these four friends,
Yeah,
like Mooney, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs, which
yeah. Like
is
they eventually figure out that Lupin is sneaking
yeah,
out every
this is
month because
they got to know that Lupin was a werewolf, right?
yeah,
He had to sneak out every 15 days or something, or every time there was a full moon,
yeah,
to like so that he could like just be away from people and not hurt people, and then
yeah.
be back. So just for the fact that they wanted to give him company, these three friends actually learned
That is just
how to become
priceless, man.
animagus.
That is just
Yeah,
priceless. At the same time, like
James Potter.
they make animagus sound like such a boomer thing because none of these guys really attempt to become anime guy, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like yeah, it's a dad thing. I don't want to turn into a I don't want to
Even
turn into a
McGonagall,
mouse.
even McGonagall becomes a cat in general, and I don't
Wait,
know
is that
these
what
guys.
animagus or is that just transformation?
That's anime, I guess. That's anime because
Oh,
you turn
oh
into the
yeah.
animal, right?
Oh yeah,
That's
because
anime.
even in the first book, she's waiting outside for
Yeah,
Dumbledore as a cat, right?
yeah,
And Dumbledore looks at her and then he just knows it's her, right?
There's the twinkle in his eye. That's what the line is always,
Oh
right? The
damn,
twinkle in his eye.
that's
Also, those lemon candies that he used
lemon
to like.
sherbet. Lemon sherbet.
Sherbet.
Would you and
Yeah.
that's his password too, yeah, at some point to his office. Lemon
To
sherbet.
his to his office it is.
His password are hilarious.
But yeah. So I think what else? Oh yeah, we also get to know about this movie had a lot, man. We got to know about Patronus charms in this movie as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Like and the whole mystery between Harry just thinking that his dad came to save him, but
Yeah,
it was just really him.
it
Like
was just
that is
him. Like
that
he
was
had, it just turned out that he had the same Patronus as his dad, which was a stag.
and he's so
Um,
hopeful, right? Like you can see it inside of him, like as a child, still
yeah,
somewhere hopeful. Like he has this idea that his dad's going to come back from the afterlife and meet him,
yeah,
and he just stands there waiting, and at the end he acts on it. He's like, you know what?
yeah.
No, it's probably me. And that
He
character
realized it
development,
later.
I mean, Harry just overcomes his fears so
Yeah.
badass in the entire book and the movie. It's just brilliant.
And I think one of the coolest parts of, if you ever saw the interview of Daniel Radcliffe as well, was that he spoke about how whenever he had scenes with Gary Oldman, right, like with Sirius Black, Harry Potter and Sirius Black, that was when he did his best acting because he looked up to Gary Oldman as a mentor, and
That's just beautiful, man.
he learned a lot. He learned a lot from him, and
That's
I think
beautiful.
it's just so beautiful that it translated from the movie to real life as well in this matter because
That's just perfect, man. I mean, their
yeah,
relation is like, because Sirius is the closest thing he has to a dad figure, right? Like he has Arthur,
yeah.
yes, but like with Sirius, it's a lot more real because he's his dad.
Arthur is awesome, but then he also
Yeah,
has a lot on his plate, right? In general,
yeah, correct.
and
Like with Sirius, this whole objective of Sirius, like the
yeah,
only reason why Sirius is alive and fights the Dementors is because he wants to get to Harry and let Harry know that he isn't the person the media is making him out to be.
yeah.
But dude, you know what? On a lighter note, I was seeing one of these interviews of Tom Felton, and he's like, whenever, like, obviously the movies and all were over, and
Uh,
everything, and everyone had gone their separate ways. But he's like, whenever I'm in London, I'll still call up Daniel at like
Daniel.
2 a.m. in the morning, and I go like, Potter, Potter.
I don't know if he still does that, but it was a thing that he used to do. That's what I
Yeah, in
remember.
that voice of it's like Potter.
Potter.
And just imagine like 2 a.m. in the morning, and you're like, whoa, what?
Also this in this movie, he actually got punched by Emma Watson.
Yeah, right. Like she just storms off.
Because she didn't realize she didn't realize she actually punched him, and she ended up hitting him in real
Oh,
for
yeah.
real in that scene.
Damn,
that
man. Just like his
that was so
acting is really like Potter. Like, oh,
funny.
wait, I'm sounding like not Tom Fan, I'm sounding like
Yeah,
Voldemort.
you sound like Voldemort.
Potter.
You don't
No, wait,
sound
how does
like
Tom Felton do it?
Voldemort.
That delivery is impeccable.
Potter. I don't know honestly,
I can't do
but
it. Tom, if you're listening to this, please send us a voice recording. Please put it up.
uh, also just to mention, like they did for the second movie, we forgot to say that like that book was a Horcrux, right? And Harry ended up destroying it with
Yeah.
the
Right.
basilisk tooth.
Even the Philosopher's
Um,
Stone was a Horcrux. No, wait, no.
no, that wasn't a Horcrux, man. That
Yeah.
was just a way for Voldemort to try and come back because it was like something that granted immortality, and Nicholas
Nicholas
Flamel
Flamel.
got
Damn,
the
and then
response.
show Nicholas Flamel in Fantastic Beasts, but that's a whole different episode altogether.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing. Um, but yeah, so in general, the only thing if I missed out anything through the movie for the third movie was the Quidditch finals.
That was, I
I
think, one
wish they could have
major
shown
miss.
because
Yeah,
Quidditch has genuinely been one of my favorite things from these movies. Um, Also to mention, like there used to be a game on PS2 that was specifically playing Quidditch. you
Oh,
were
really?
you were on teams and you played like matches of Quidditch, and that was genuinely one of my favorite games to play
I had the
on the
Chambers of
PS2.
Secret the entire game on my older PS, like the PlayStation, the
Hmm.
first PlayStation, and
Yeah.
and I think it's the only Harry Potter game I've played. But I remember there was some Quidditch in it, and that Quidditch was so wholesome.
Dude,
Like,
it
oh
was
god, playing Quidditch is great. Like
in
flying and throw balls. Like, what?
in the PS2 though. I think they did it like the actual like teams that were there, like those harpies and all those kind of things, like
Yeah,
proper teams from Quidditch World Cup,
yeah.
and
Oh yeah,
it was
I
a
actually haven't gotten to the Quidditch book. Have you read that Quidditch through the Ages?
dude. No, I really want to read it though.
No, right?
I
That's
genuinely want to
something.
read that book.
I mean, I know it doesn't have a lot to do with Harry Potter, but I think to like call myself a fan at some point, I'll have to read that book too.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I think I might just go for it. But before we move ahead to all these things,
Yeah,
and we move ahead to the next few movies, I think we might have to end this podcast here for now.
it's getting
We
way too
have a
long.
lot to we have a lot to talk about. Honestly, we love Harry Potter, but
Yeah,
we can't like go let this podcast go on
yeah.
for two hours.
We'll kind of cap it
So
for an hour, and then we'll have
yeah.
another episode, and we'll talk about books four to
The
seven.
next one is where it gets serious with Harry Potter,
Yeah,
right?
it
Like
gets dark.
the first three were fun,
Yeah,
light-hearted. Like, well, they weren't particularly light-hearted, but they were fun, and they had like the introduction to the world.
yeah.
But I think this is the fourth book is where it really gets serious.
Done, done, done. So I think we're gonna sign off for now. We've had a
Yeah,
crazy time recording this. I mean, this has been like pending and it's being hyped up for so long. If you know somebody who's a big fan head, who's a big Potterhead, who's a big fan of the entire Harry Potter universe, you've got to
yeah.
let them know this because it's up to us Potterheads to keep the magic alive. Because
Oh, definitely. And talk to us about your memories of the
yeah, just
first three movies. Like,
tell us.
honestly, just tell us how did you get introduced to this whole series, and we can we can kind of talk more about what you guys thought about like the first three movies in the next
Yeah.
pod. We
You've
want to
got
see what you
no
guys
matter
say.
how old you are now, it doesn't matter
Yeah.
because whenever you hear Harry Potter, it's like a time machine and you're gonna go back to that time when you were a kid and you read it and we want to keep that alive. You can't let
Yeah.
that go because trust me, one day your letter of acceptance is going to come.
Oh,
And it's
it's
not
there.
gonna be from
It's somewhere in the
fucking
mail.
it's not gonna be from
Just
fucking Harvard or Princeton because that shit
yeah.
don't matter. You're gonna get to
Yeah.
the Hogwarts and you're gonna
It just
go
got lost in the mail.
it just
That's
got
all
mixed
it
up in a
is.
way. You know,
Yeah,
there is
it
a
just got
plan.
mixed up. That's all.
Dumbledore's behind that, and
Yeah.
it's a master plan, and you will find out why your letter didn't come, but it's going.
Dumbly door.
It's gonna come very soon, and you're gonna get sorted. Oh my God, yes, we'll all be together,
Yes.
and that's so much fun.
No, I'm already sorted, man. I'm
Yeah.
in Mehnat Kash.
Yeah. Oh no.
I'm in
No.
Hufflepuff.
Oh, don't go there.
Hufflepuff.
Not the dubbing. Okay, guys,
Uh,
this is Z signing out. We loved recording this episode,
and
and
this was Padfoot. I'm also signing out now.
we'll
I
see
mean,
you
we
guys
don't wanna. We will continue this conversation. But yeah, until Saturday.
soon. Yep. See
See
you
you
guys. See
guys.
you sheeples.
See
Bye.
you, sheeples. Bye, sheeples. Okay. Bye. Bye.